Good morning. Good morning and happy Wednesday, also known as Hump Day in my world. Happy Hump Day. Happy Hump Day. It is Wednesday morning. How exciting that we're here for another of my weekly Hump Day Happy Chats. I'm grateful that I woke up this morning, that I am still breathing, still able to connect to higher power, to feel source within my veins, within my bones, within my heart, to be a part of the fabric of the net of light, the net of love, the spirit of the divine that is always. Omnipresence means always, no matter what appearances may be, enfolding the planet, enfolding each one of us. It's moving in, through, around, and as you and as me. Now, all we get to do is to activate that magnificent essence that you are inside you and live from that place. Be it. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Dr. Valerie Renee Shepard. I'm coming to you live from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. And I define self-mastery as mastering you in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way. And let me tell you, look around the world, just look in your life, in the present moment, in the Wayback Machine, in the even visioning forward into the dream making, the imagination that you are in your life, there's a lot. There's a lot. And I tend to believe that it's all worth being grateful for, even though some of it is like, what? Or like today's title, ow! That was my foot! Yeah, ow, that was my foot, or my head, or my nose, or my finger. You get the idea. Sometimes the things that our lives bring our way aren't the things that we're most thrilled about. They're not causing a happy, happy, joy, joy dance. And the idea here with self-mastery is that you don't have a so what attitude. There is a place where the so what is very valuable in self-mastery. It's a tool that I teach called So What Now What, which really brings you back into the present moment. But the so what attitude that hurts you is when you're not willing to go into the space of, oh, here's some juicy deliciousness. Looks kind of, not sure I want to dig in, but I'm going to. Not sure what's in this for me, but I'm going to breathe, settle in, and see what more is possible in this moment. What more is possible? So thank you very much for joining me. I love these little Hump Day Happy Chats as an opportunity for me to address some of the things that I hear from people about what's not working for them. So that can be from students, it can be from clients, it can be in my own life, it can be things I overhear at the park. So it's just, or things that people tell me when they're with me in physical therapy or something like that. So they're just stories from the lives around the world. And the idea here is that there's something in everything for everyone. It may not be the exact thing that you're going through right this minute, but it may hold the key to some things you may have been wondering, or some things that may be under the surface or in the background. So I'm so grateful that you're here. If you're watching the replay, please do #replay. And today I'd love to know what the most important thing that you intend to get done this week is. What is the most important thing that you intend to get done this week? This week for me is all about I'm doing a little research on a major life project that'll unfold over the next several months. And so for me, the most important thing is giving myself some peace that comes from having done the little investigative stuff that I'm doing to understand what's going on. The other most important thing is I'm doing a couple of virtual experiences to expand my intuitive abilities and drop further into divine feminine energy, the Black Madonna and Mary Magdalene energy, to be very specific. And I'm having the most amazing awakenings and unfoldings, and I'm just in joy over that. So that's me. So if you're listening to the replay, hashtag replay, type in what's your big thing this week. So wherever you are around the world, morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime, thank you for being here and welcome. If you want to join me in some free activity online, I have a private group on Facebook called the Bliss Collective. We're approaching 1,000 strong right now, and we are a community on a mission to have more peace, love, joy, and freedom on the planet. We want to, our intention is that there's a movement and that we are part of the catalyst of that movement to have more of the things that we want represented on the planet reflected back to us in our own lives. And we start that journey with ourselves. We're willing to look at ourselves as contributors, as the most important thing in that vision, in that imagination of what we want to create. So we're starting with us, changing on the inside. What did Michael Jackson, the man in the mirror? So yeah, I'm looking at the woman in the mirror, or the male female energy that I am in the mirror, integrating myself, being my whole self, not just my human self, but also my spiritual wise self, my highest self, and bringing it into the planet and creating a ripple effect out all over the place. And as a member of that group, we have this thing called hashtag Ask Valerie Fridays. So people can ask Dr. Valerie questions, and I either answer them here or I answer them in the group. People also private message me for things that are sensitive, that they don't necessarily want to out themselves about, and we talk about those things there. People, when they actually experience the results of the teachings, you'll see postings, and that can help you. Oh, wow, I wasn't sure I was going to do it that way. Or, oh, wow, I kind of did it, but I didn't get that experience. I'd love to know more. And so we're there to support each other. The important thing is knowing you're not traveling alone. You're never alone. The only thing you have to do to reassure yourself of that is reach out, make connections, join us. Thanks for being here at the Hump Day Happy Chat. Join us in the Bliss Collective. The other thing you can do that'll really help you is I have my Grow in Self-Mastery Flow into Bliss 7-day challenges. And we offer them probably about once every 6 to 8 weeks. And what I get from feedback from the people who do it, and we've got a challenge going on right now, so shouting out to all the challengers, much love and blessings. We're on day 4. Keep going. I've seen some of your post. I'm going to give a big shout out to PM. You know your initials, PM. And way to go. Keep going. Thanks for engaging. I love your heart. And so the 7-day challenges are opportunities to do some hand-picked exercises that will help you see for yourself, how deep into self-mastery are you? Or how deep into something else are you? One of those things might be what I'm going to talk about today. So I hope you'll join us in the next Self-Mastery Challenge. You can go to tinyurl.com/self-mastery challenge. That's tinyurl.com self-mastery challenge. So here we are today. Hump Day Happy Chat number 187. Ow! That was my foot. Ow! That was my foot. So this is all about Shooting yourself in the foot, also known as being your own worst enemy. Being your own worst enemy. I guarantee you, you don't want that title. So this statement actually comes from Friedrich Nietzsche. So Nietzsche was this German philosopher, cultural critic, and he was an influencer of people like Sigmund Freud. So for him, this is what was really said that turned into being your own worst enemy. You yourself will always be the worst enemy you encounter. You yourself lie in wait for yourself in caves and forests. Wow. You yourself will always be the worst enemy you encounter. You yourself lie in wait for yourself in caves and forests. That's Friedman Nietzsche. Shooting yourself in the foot, being your own worst enemy. Shooting yourself in the foot, where did that come from? It came from World War I, when, believe it or not, soldiers would actually prefer to shoot themselves in the foot than to take the hill and risk certain death. So I love it when these phrases actually are rooted in real lived experience. So imagine that shooting yourself in the foot was actually an act of self-protection. So you have these two ideas: self-sabotage, you're your own worst enemy. You yourself are lying in wait for you in the forest. Yikes. Yikes. You yourself are lying in wait for you in the forest. And the idea of shooting myself in the foot, yo, that's my foot. So when you think of the self-sabotage, it means that you are causing the problems, the bad things that are happening to you, that you yourself have a hand in them. Maybe you didn't do everything, but there's something about you, there's something coming from you that is a part of it. And I have this quote that I write in my book, and I've said in a couple of other places. It's a great day when you look at something that you really don't want in your life, and you also, in that same moment, are willing and able to look at yourself as the cause of that effect. So you notice it, I don't want that. Oh, and then you notice. Like for me, it was noticing at a point in my career when things were really not good. And I write about this in my book, that I was willing to get out of this idea of people are out to get me, and shame and blame, and this is wrong and they're wrong and they shouldn't have done that and they should not have done this and they should have done more. Like to get out of that energy of I'm the victim and these things are the cause of my situation, and actually look at the situation and still be able to go, this situation sucks. And I'm doing it. Like when I looked back and did a historical, like backwards look, I'm looking at the past, at the past, at the past, at the past. Well, there was a least common denominator in all of those situations. You know what it was? It was me. It was me. It was me. I was there. I was in all of them. Were they all a part of self-sabotage? Not necessarily. Some of them are just plain and simple mistakes, errors in judgment, lack of mentorship, lack of good counsel, lack of the ability to ask for counsel. Like there were a lot of dynamics going on. And I am absolutely, unequivocally sure some of those were times when I was going, ow, that was my foot. I shot myself in the foot. So if you too are noticing, wow, some of the problems I'm causing the problems. The first thing I want to say is the first place you go is to a place of compassion. Like, yeah, Yeah, compassion. Just allow yourself to hold that part of yourself and reassure it. Better days are here. Better days are here. Because you're willing to take a look. Like, stop, freeze frame, whoop! Time to go in a different direction. Like, how am I setting up my future to be different than my past? So self-sabotage occurs, definitionally, this is from Brenner, when we destroy ourselves physically, mentally, and or emotionally, or somehow deliberately hinder our own success and well-being by undermining our personal goals and values. We destroy ourselves physically, mentally, or emotionally, or deliberately hinder our own success and well-being by undermining our personal goals and values. Undermining your own goals and values. In other words, whatever disappointments you're feeling, they're the direct result of your own contributions to the situation. Your own contributions. From somewhere inside you, there's a powerful energy that's tripping you up. It's coming from inside you, tripping you up. Even though in that same inner sanctuary, there's a strong desire to achieve what you're going after. Can you see how both of them are playing? They're both at work. They're both at work. You really want it, and still there's a part of you that's like, nope, you can't have that because, and the fill in the blank with the because is where the real rubber meets the road. There's a reason. There's a reason. No doubt in the body of work that I do and in the body of work that I teach, the reason comes from the Wayback Machine, probably some sort of conditioning that happened between the ages of 0 in the womb and to about 8 at the outside. So something back then set in motion a focus on protection, on something other than moving forward in confidence and courage and self-acceptance and self-awareness and self-love. Something got in the way. And this little beautiful, precious, darling love, hold yourself and just give yourself love and compassion. Something inside you, which did a really awesome job of protecting you in those difficult situations from the ages of 0 to 8. Lots of things were difficult. And it set in motion something that got built on over time. So even the self-saboteur within us is worthy of our love and compassion and understanding and our healing support. And know that it's as an aspect of you, you can't be without it. But you can heal it and reintegrate it into a higher version of you that really protects and cares for your dream and really supports you to go after the dream, no matter what. No matter what, that's what you get in this equation of self-mastery. Where is my saboteur? Saboteur is an archetype. Every one of us has it. It depends on how strongly that saboteur puts itself in motion, whether we feel this, ow, I shot myself in the foot, kind of like noticing. Are you resonating? If you're resonating, give me a thumbs up or a heart or something. I love knowing that what I'm sharing with you is supporting and serving you to go to higher ground. So for me, my self-sabotage. So, and this is stuff that I'm aware of and have been working on. This isn't even subconscious, unknown to me. It was unknown to me for a long time, but in my more conscious self, these are things that I'm saying, oh, hello. So I'm going after releasing, I don't say losing anymore, releasing the last 15 pounds. I'm still doing it. I get down to where I'm almost like, wow, 3 pounds from my goal weight. Something inside me, I lose focus and start rewarding myself for how well I've done. And next thing I know, I put it back on. Interesting. I feel the kind of thwarted that I'm talking about, something below the surface holding me back. When I notice that I want to do a better job of following up with people but I will look at business cards that people have given me, or people reaching out through social media, and I haven't. I just don't feel like it. I'm not motivated, is what I tell myself. I've got the story around lack of motivation. I want to do a better job, but I don't really do such a good job. I make notes, but I don't really, I've got them on my calendar too. Call so-and-so, follow up with so-and-so, and they're not all about important things, about vision or purpose. Some of them are just pals. And I notice that I don't do it. What's that about? I've noticed it when I really do want to get more done. And for whatever reasons, I just don't feel motivated. I feel unmotivated and de-energized. And I really would like to spend another afternoon reading a book, not a self-help book, a novel, reading a book, watching some TV with some popcorn with lots of butter. What was that first one? Oh, yeah. Releasing the last 15 pounds. I wonder how popcorn and butter goes with that. Chilling, taking a nap. It's important in self-mastery. The first pillar is self-awareness. So self-awareness is that I can sit here and look at you and tell you this is the stuff I notice going on with me. So if you can't say it to me, or if you don't want to type it into the chat, or you don't want to talk to others about it, at least the bare minimum of self-awareness, you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and talk to yourself about it. You have to be able to see that side of you, that child in you that is looking for help. And you are the parent now. Who cares what happened when you were little? Like, that's in the Wayback Machine. I understand. I don't really mean who cares. What I mean is there's nothing that can be done about changing that thing that happened in the past, except for how you respond to it now in the present. As you see that it still carries energy, it's still activated, it's still alive in you. What you can do now in the I care about it is engage with it. Don't run away and lean backward, like get away from me. No, lean forward, lean in. Take a step towards it. It's just you. It's just a wounded aspect, a fragment of you that's gotten separated. And you need to re-enfold it, re-enfranchise it, reintegrate that aspect. Reintegrate the aspects. So what's going on? When you're being ruled by these deep-seated ideas, they were conditioned into you at a young age to believe or even value things about yourself that are strong enough to override your present moment conscious choice about what you want to do and who you want to be. Those things are tripping you up. There's a part of you that's like, yeah. And there's a part of you that's going, I don't think so. Now notice, when I said shooting yourself in the foot, I'm protecting myself from going over there and being killed. So imagine, let's say that you have stage fright. And I don't mean you have to be on the stage, but maybe you don't like speaking in front of people. I hear this from my students at the University of California. I heard this from them all the time. We would have group presentations and they just don't like to speak. And especially if they're an international student and their command of English wasn't that strong. And I just went through this in France. Like, speaking at a table where we're all talking was a little scary. Well, or a lot. So imagine that's that stagey fright thing, stage frighty thing. And there's a part of you that is keeping you from putting yourself out there. But look what it's from. It's from protection. It's a part of you that is afraid to be hurt by what's going to happen after you put yourself out there. People will judge me. They won't like what I'm wearing. They won't hear what I'm saying because they're so focused on what I'm wearing. With me, I know that I had part of this energy that had to do with being a soul incarnated into a container that has black skin in the world where the color ladder is so conditioned into Everything, every culture. So for me, there was fright around that. Now, as an actress, I don't have stage fright from being on stage, but I do have fright of some other things that have to do with what I'm doing right now, putting myself out here as a teacher, as a healer, as an alchemist, like all of that, a spiritual knowledge person. Like, whoa, they'll kill me. Like, it can be primitive. It can actually not even be from this lifetime. That you've got a protection mechanism built into you, could potentially be at the DNA level from epigenetically handed down fear and protection mechanisms. Are you getting it? Like, this to me is fascinating. It's fascinating. It's a way that you free yourself from inner judgment about not being enough. Oh my gosh, I let my self-sabotage prevent me again. Yeah, beautiful. The self-sabotaging aspect of you is protecting you from something. Now, we don't stop there, right? We don't stop there because we really, really want to know, what is it? What am I protecting myself from? And am I really at the highest levels in protection? So other forms of, are you afraid of success? Maybe if I become really successful, people will want things from me. I'll have all these Klingons of people who want my money. They want my time. They want me to give them a job. I don't want to deal with that. So we may subconsciously hold ourselves back from that really high success so that we don't have to deal with that negative aspect. I don't want to deal with that. You won't potentially risk asking for help. So that's another thing that was conditioned into me. Take the hill, do what you ought to do, get it done, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Those were conditioned patterns of thought and emotional values that I held that I didn't realize were actually holding me back. So by not asking for help, I'm actually suboptimal. And I'm making my life hard. I'm taking the hard road when there's an easier one right there. Just boop, step over there. Step on it. Just go that way. But for me, asking for help was a sign of weakness. It was a sign of inability. And it was a sign of lack of worthiness. If you can't figure it out, why would I want to help you? You're not worthy of my time. You're not worthy of my energy. You're not worthy of my money, my trust, whatever. So check in right now as you're seeing these things. How are you your own worst enemy, waiting for yourself in the forest? Right when you stick your neck out there, you actually cut it off. You actually cut it off. Maybe one of your self-sabotaging behaviors is you alienate people who want to help you. They offer help and you pick a fight with them. I know how to do it. That was mine. My mom used to tell me this all the time. Let Valerie do it. Let Valerie do it when I was young. And that just grew into a value of me doing it. And even today, I can hear myself. I can hear the story in my head about, I don't need that help. And so the work, conscious effort I've been doing on what I'm going to tell you about in a minute, on how I serve myself better. How do I raise my vibration in these instances when this deep-seated conditioning rears its ugly head in the form of shooting me in the foot? How am I getting superiority? Maybe for you, it's procrastination. Not just putting something off for a couple of minutes while you answer the phone or putting it off for a day, but real serious procrastination where you have things that you really needed to do for yourself that have been on your list of things to do for years. Like, you're just not doing them. And you know you want to, and you know you need to, and you're not doing them. Still, you're not doing with them. And there are problems related to the fact that you're not doing them. Other forms of hiding in plain sight. There's so many. Fear of success is another one. That's a little bit harder to look at, but it's another one. If I become too successful, people will call me a liar. People will come after me. Everybody's always trying to take the position away from the number one person. You've got a target on your back. It makes life really hard. I have to work that much harder to keep it once I have it. So I don't want to have it. Interesting. Those are all stories. You can potentially find evidence of them playing out in real world, but that doesn't have to be your world. The fact that something plays out somewhere in the world doesn't mean that's going to be what happens to you in a similar circumstance. That's a part of self-awareness. Am I so hooked in to collective consciousness that I don't even have my own realm where I am the sovereign? So all of these places of self-sabotage, you need to know. You need to know. Thrive Global has a list that I thought was interesting. 7 signs that you're your own worst enemy. Now, number 1, negative self-criticism. Like, you can look at yourself and come up with things you could do better, but negative self-criticism. So when you beat yourself up, you call yourself names, you belittle yourself, you tell yourself you're not worth help. That's a negative, that's a toxic, I'll go even further than they did. That's toxic self-criticism. That's notice, oh wow, toxic self-criticism. I'm shooting myself in the foot. When you can never, ever find a way to inspire yourself, you can't activate inspiration, meaning it's coming from inside of you. Motivation is great. It comes from outside of you, but self-motivation is inspiration. I'm inspiring myself. When you really cannot pull it together, you cannot find or activate a source within you. You can tell that you're in your comfort zone, and you can see that a challenge would present you with higher ground, but you prefer to stay in your comfort zone, even though you know all the magic is over there when you step out of it. When you set unrealistic goals, I'm going to make $1 million this year, the last quarter of this year. When you set unrealistic goals and then you get to beat yourself up for not making them, that's being your own worst enemy. When you don't appreciate the small things, it's only the big things that matter to you. Well, the big things are created by little small things adding up to the big thing. But you're not willing to see that. When you spend more time in your head thinking and analyzing, also a form of procrastination for you heady people out there. I'll just get some more research. I'll just check in with this. I got to read another book first. I don't know enough. I got to do some more. I'm going to launch it in the the biggest way possible, as opposed to doing little steps, getting it launched, then continuous learning. This is me, by the way. I have noticed this about myself. And when you anchor in self-doubt instead of possibility, instead of reminding yourself of all the ways you actually have done it. So those are some additional signs. And here's the most important thing about this. It's not, oh my God, I have a saboteur. It's not that. It should be, oh wow, I'm noticing my saboteur behaviors. Yay. Hallelujah. That means going forward into my future, my saboteur is less powerful. The saboteuring aspect of me is going to lose its power because I'm aware when it's trying to do its protection, and I can tell it, I don't need you anymore. I don't need you in this way anymore. Are you getting it? Can you feel yourself doing this? Only you can take yourself higher, and you will be the one who can take yourself lower. Other people will do what they're going to do. But the truth is, you are the cause to the effects in your life. Whether you actually accept that and act on it or not doesn't really matter. You are still the cause. Other stuff are incidental. You have causal nature. And so the question is your causal nature going to be activated to create an effect that you love living, Or is your causal nature somehow going to create an owie in your little foot? Youch. So breaking the cycle of these habitual patterns of telling ourselves, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, I'll never figure it out, I don't know how to do it, I didn't come from the right side of the tracks, my skin color isn't good enough, I'm a woman and they don't pay attention to me, I'm gay, I'm trans, whatever the stories are, whatever those ideas that were planted that we now act on subconsciously as the saboteur, they can be healed. It just takes committed effort over time. It just takes conscious, I'm going to reintegrate the aspect of me that is sabotaging me. I'm going to break the cycle. I'm going to transform and get superiority over the habitual patterns of self-sabotage. And I'm turning them into self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-care and self-love. Growing in my self-mastery so that I can flow more into the bliss that I seek. So you need to understand the emotions, the beliefs, the values that are underpinning whatever form of self-sabotage you're in. That's number one. So always when I go through steps, I always start with breathing. So when I'm confronting or saying hello to the self-sabotage in me, I used to beat her up mercilessly. That didn't do any good. She's there to protect. So if I've got a protection device, the first thing I would do is to allow myself to just come into present moment. So the breath allows me to do that. And I take a deep breath and I check in. What's going on here? Wow. Can't believe I still got this on my things to do list. Why? If I know how important making this phone call is or sending this email is, why am I not doing it? And allow yourself to feel. So when I do that, I'm thinking about one thing in particular. It's been on my things to do list for months. Potentially a very important connection that I haven't followed up with. And when I feel into it, I get the exposed. I'll be exposed. What if they think I'm an idiot? What if I never hear back from them and I don't even know what happened? I feel little girl energy of they won't like me. I don't belong there. It's very young, very precious. If you allow yourself time to just sit in it and ask it what it came to show you, what it came to teach you, how it's here to protect you, you will be able to work with it, through it, and get superiority over it. And superiority isn't punching it in the face. It's just saying, thank you very much. I appreciate what you've done for me until now, and I need you to come on board with the plan that I have for going forward. I need you to come in and give me wisdom that supports where I'm going forward. And you bow your head and open your heart to it, holding that precious aspect of you in love and care and compassion, understanding. You give it a kiss. What stories is your negative conjurer doing? Now here comes the J word, which a lot of you don't like, and I'm one of you because my right hand doesn't write very well. Journaling. Journaling the soup of whatever you got. And it doesn't have to be writing prose for a book. Just, I saw dark things. I felt nails in my back. It felt really scary. I felt like a little kid hiding in a closet. Like, that's the kind of journaling I'm talking about. Just free form, capture what's going on. And then use my book or other tools to do forgiveness and release practices on it. And I say rinse and repeat, do it as often as you can. See what more comes up that you can learn about yourself. Self-awareness is what helps you get superiority over self-sabotage. If you need to, ask for help. There's so many things, so many resources out there. I know that Daily Om, I think, is going to start a course soon on self-sabotage. I know that Mind Valley must have something. Insight Timer has all kinds of stuff on healing the base chakra, like base chakra, first 2 or 3 chakras, where some of this self-sabotage energy might be. I know that I'm running long today because I love talking about this, so thank you for bearing with me. So I hope that my intention is that you got some very clear support for healing the saboteur in you so that you're not running around with lots of holes in your feet. That's no fun. You need your feet. You got miles to go before you sleep, and you need your feet. I always close the Karanayametta Sutra with the prayer of loving, I always close the Hump Day Happy Chat with the Karanayametta Sutra, the prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha. I hope you're able to say this with me at this point. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. And I guarantee you, there's no such thing as self-sabotage in your true nature. And you wake up to that true nature by healing, forgiving, and releasing everything that is not aligned with that. Integrated into your wholeness. And may all beings be free. Many blessings. Thanks for joining me. Remember, #replay. Please share this and come on and play with us in the Bliss Collective. Many blessings. Bye now.